Hello everybody, it's Rosetta here. Getting ready to do a pick-a-pile reading on the question, how can I find true love? Question is, how can I find true love? And you're choosing among 4 different stacks of cards. We're going to assign numbers to them once you have chosen, so I don't even want a number to affect your choice. But just take a look at these 4 stacks of cards, and let's just take a moment of silence for you to make your choice. All right, and we're going to randomly assign numbers to each of the 4 stacks of cards. In the description of this reading, you will find timestamps so you can directly go to whichever of these readings you have selected. All right, guys, let's go ahead and go to stack number 1. Okay, the question is, how can I find true love? And we have 4 cards in each stack that are going to give you what Spirit wants you to know about how you can find true love, and possibly some reasons why true love has eluded you in the past. So let's see what we have in the first stack of cards. We have the Queen of Cups. We have the Sun. We have the 7 of Cups, and we have the 3 of Pentacles. All right, the good news in this particular stack of cards, this is stack number 1, is everything is already set up for you to find the love that you have been seeking. Right? But let's give you a little bit of guidance here. So representing you in this stack of cards, we have the Queen of Cups. And so it's a card of being in tune with your emotions, perhaps softening the rough edges if you feel like you have had some rough edges or have had some attitudes that are coloring your view of relationships based on other relationships in your life that you've had. This is the card that's asking you to just relax, soften the edges of your personality, and get in tune with what you need on the inside from a relationship instead of the external factors. So you might be meeting someone who isn't what you would ordinarily consider to be your type, for example. But what we know about this person, how you will know that you have run into the right person for you, is this person is going to bring a lot of happiness and fun and playfulness into your life. So you're going to feel like this child on horseback. You're going to just feel like you're going forth into the world and everything is easy, everything is fun, and it's okay to trust that in this relationship. You should almost feel a sense of childlike wonder that this person brings out of you, and this person is also this way, him or herself. And so this is not going to be a person that's full of problems and drama. This is going to be easy. Now you're going to have your choice. So the 7 of Cups is saying that you're going to have a number of people from which to choose. How are you going to know when it's your person? Well, we just said that. Because it's going to be a person of light and brightness and happiness. And this is going to be a person who has friends, who has good long-term friendships, who has good relationships with his family and with other people in his life. So this is not a person that is a fixer-upper. This is a person who's already there. So the only thing that I want to mention to you in this context is that you might not want to trust that this person actually is as good, so this might be one of these situations where you feel, oh, it's too good to be true. In this case, it's not too good to be true. Okay, and then the final card of this stack is the Three of Pentacles, and it's saying that you're going to also have an important project or work to do together. So there's not only the fun and the happiness of this relationship and the carefreeness of this person and the problem-free nature of this person, but you're also going to have something really valuable to share and build together. This might be that you're in similar fields in your work. It might be that you're building a family together. It might be that you're blending two families together after divorce, but it's going to be something that you build together, and you feel that you couldn't build this, you wouldn't want to build this with anyone else. It's like you're the perfect partners to build this future together and to create this thing together. It might be even a humanitarian work that you both are interested in. You might have similar political views. So there's a big project that you are going to want to pursue together and you'll be equally passionate about. Okay, so that's it. How soon is this likely to happen? That's another question for another reading. But for this reading, I'm saying that as you look, as people come into your view that are potential partners, you want to wait for this person. Do not accept substitutes. Don't accept anyone less than the person we just described here. And you're going to be ready sooner if you let go of some of your self-protective mechanisms that you've had before. So the more you can let go of bitterness, let go of anger in previous relationships, the more that you can tap into your emotional, relaxed, receptive side, then this is going to come quicker to you. So you have some control over how quickly this comes, and this reading has given you a little bit of guidance about your readiness. All right, so as always I say in these readings, take what resonates with you and leave the rest, but I also always say, take another look at this reading in a couple of days. Think about it. Think about people you may already know. Think about whether you may have already met this person in some area of your life, and come back to it, ruminate over it, think a little bit about the meaning that it has for you, and deeply feel into this message. If you enjoyed this reading, please consider subscribing to my channel. Every week we also have in addition to these pick-a-pile readings, every week I do a forecast tarot reading for the vibe for the week. And that reading happens on Sundays and it posts on Monday here to my YouTube channel. So check out maybe my reading for this week and see how it sits with you, and see if that's something that you would like to tune into every week. All right, hope that this was helpful to you, and I hope to see you soon on one of my upcoming readings. And now let's go to pick a pile number 2. Once again, the question is, how can I find true love? Okay, so this is our stack of cards number 2. How can I find true love? Let's see what these cards have in store for us. Okay, we have the Eight of Swords reversed. We have the a major arcana card 11, the Justice card. And another major arcana card, 14, Temperance. And then the final card, bringing up the end of these 4 cards, we have the Six of Cups, which is a beautiful card to end this little reading with. Okay, so once again, we're having a first, as we did in the first group of cards, we've got a first card right off the bat that I feel is representing you. And so I love it when we have a card like this in the first position, because it gives you a little bit of an idea of why you may have not have found true love quite yet, or you may have had someone that you thought was a true love that ended up not to be. And so this card is saying, let yourself go. So this, if we had this in the upright position, here's what this card would look like. So this is a woman who is tied up and blindfolded, and then she's surrounded by these swords. So any way she goes, she feels there's going to be something preventing her from getting what she wants. However, if she walks just straight ahead, she can be free. So if this feels like your life so far, that you go after one thing and something stands in your way, and perhaps especially the romantic relationships in your life or the close relationships in your life have not helped you, but instead have just been more hurdles. Like, people are trouble in your life. People are not blessings. People just end up to make your life harder. And it's time to release yourself from this bondage. Okay, so we've got this in reverse. In this particular reading, this is saying to me, set yourself free by, first of all, in this beginning of your journey to find love, first of all, release yourself from this situation. So what you may want to do is separate yourself from people who have brought pain into your life. So that's a great first step to finding love, is just getting away from all of the disappointment. You don't have to be close to people or put up with people simply because they're your family members, or simply because a person is your ex, or maybe you're in a bad relationship right now. Okay, just because at one time you have made a promise to that person and you've tried your very best to fulfill on that promise, doesn't mean you have to be stuck there being hurt over and over and over again forever. You have the opportunity to learn to set boundaries in your life and to be able to walk away. And if you need help untying these bonds, all you have to do is walk away from these burdens, from these people who continue to hurt you, and there's going to be someone kind ahead who will help untie these bonds. So that might be therapy, that might be a coach, that might be a good friend that you have, but you're not going to find that wonderful, nurturing help until you walk away from the present situation. And this to me looks like a lifetime of, being born into the wrong family, attracting the wrong friends, falling in with the wrong people, and somehow you feel like you have to stay with these lifelong friends and family members, and it's preventing you from finding the love of your life. Going on to the second card, Justice. So we've got two major arcana cards here. These tend to be life path kinds of cards that are sometimes ways that we can tend to get stuck in life. And once again, it's the sword and the scales of justice. And these are both two cards of balance. Okay? So the first one, justice. Have you been meeting with injustice all along in your life? And has it turned you into kind of a tough customer, kind of a hard person that now you're kind of hard to get to know because you're trying to watch out for yourself, but it's easier sometimes, just like the first card had told us, just like the Eight of Swords has told us, sometimes it's just easier to walk away than continuing to demand the treatment that you feel you deserve. So if you're going into the dating world and kind of being a hard person to get to know because you've got your hackles up, right? So you're kind of a porcupine right now, and you're just worried that you're not going to be treated right. That could make things a little bit difficult. So instead of the demand of justice, or the worry, that you're seeing little signs, little red flags with each person, but they might not be red flags that are really there. You're just trying to protect yourself instead of walking away. So let me put this another way. Instead of walking away from the kinds of people who have disappointed you in the past, sometimes we can get stuck demanding of these people that they change, and they're not going to change. So instead, another option is open to you. And this is just an option of balance. It's an option of, let's just take a look at the images on these cards, okay? This is kind of a legalistic, harsh-looking card. And this is a card that does quite a bit the same thing, okay? It's looking for temperance, it's looking for balance. It's looking for the happiness and not only the duty in life. And then it's also this guardian angel figure too. Just know that there is, if you're a person who believes in a form of God or a form of spirituality, it's like you've been trying to do it all yourself until this point. And there's divine assistance waiting for you. And there is a path that leads to happiness. But you have to be willing to walk that path. And you have to be willing to relax a little bit into that path. And know that if you put your trust, if you are a person who prays, and if you just pray that the right person be led to you, and that it's a trustworthy person, and that all persons who are not right for you don't even know you're alive. This is a really good way, it's really a good way to approach this situation. Because we're looking at a lifetime of not having things the way you wanted them to be, but you keep knocking on that door that's never going to give you what you want. So this is a process of you becoming a being of light. This is a process of you letting go of all these things in the past, but there's also an element of faith here that you have to believe it's possible for you. And that's why it's really good to connect with whatever your form of spirituality is and continue to remind yourself that Spirit wants happiness for you. It's sometimes we who keep hanging on to the lessons that unfortunately have been taught to us in the past. It's a letting go process that will bring you what you are looking for. So let's go to the last card here, where we have the beautiful Six of Cups. And this is leading me to share with you that the person who is going to be your true love, it's very likely that you will be friends first. So as you open yourself up to a new group of friends and acquaintances and leaving behind people who are never going to change, who are never going to give you what you want, as you open yourself up to meeting new people, making new friends. So this is not only romantic relationships, but looking for new activities, getting involved in new areas of life that you have not been involved with before, volunteering for new organizations, just doing things that are different and new. Among the people you meet is likely to be this true love person, and it's likely to start out as a really beautiful friendship. And the person you meet is going to be a person who is very kind, who's very loving to you. And because you're likely not to trust this person at first, perhaps, it's really a good idea to let this friendship be for a period of time. Don't push it to be a relationship right away. Let it be the beautiful friendship, the caring friendship that it's going to be, and just let it turn into a relationship in its own time. All right, that's what I have for you in this second stack of cards. I always say, take what resonates with you, and a few things in this reading may not hit home with you. But also I ask that in a couple of days, come back and view this reading again. Take a look at it and see what it says to you after you've had a chance to think about it for a while. If you've enjoyed this reading, please consider subscribing to my channel. And also, among the pick-a-pile readings and other things that I do here on this channel, I do a weekly forecast. It's a tarot reading for the week ahead, and it gives you the vibe that you are likely to expect as you go through the coming week. So if you're interested in checking that out, go ahead and watch the one that I have for the week that we're in right now. Okay, here we are, reading on the question, how can I find true love? And this is the third group of cards. Here we go, let's see what they have to say to us. We have the Five of Pentacles reversed. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have Major Arcana card, the Empress. And then we have the Ten of Cups. So the first card here is giving us a little bit of insight on why you may have had difficulty finding true love up until now. Or maybe you have found what you thought was true love and it ended up disappointing you. So what's going on here? Let's turn, so we have it in reverse. Let's turn the Five of Pentacles right side up so you can get a better look at it. So in the right side up position, this is a person who always feels that he or she is in a position of lack. Always feeling that you're the beggar and everybody has things easier than you do. It may even be that your previous partner has dragged you down and made life progressively harder for you. And you ended up carrying more and more and more of the load until you were completely exhausted. But we've got it in reverse, right? So what we're saying is, how can you find true love? What changes might you need to make? And it's doing some inner work to feel prosperous, to feel that you're lucky. Okay, not that nothing ever goes your way, but actually the opposite, that you are a very lucky person. Things do go your way. So it's finding a way to come to the reverse of how you've been feeling for quite some time. Let's go to the second card, Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so this is actually a depiction of the person that's going to come into your life once you make those changes. So once you no longer feel like, oh, I'm always the victim, things never go my way. So once you do that inner transformational work to say that, and to prove to yourself while you're single, to prove to yourself that you can make good things happen. You don't need anybody else to do it for you. You can bring joy into your own life every day. So this is the way you're moving in order to meet your knight. And this is an earthly knight. So as opposed to your previous partner that tended to drag you down financially and in all other ways, this new partner is going to be also, as you change yourself to the opposite mindset that you've had for a long time, you meet someone who is very capable and who wants to share with you. So here you are in your new reality. You've already turned yourself into the empress of your own life before you ever meet this guy. And in fact, this is what enables you to meet him. And here he comes, he's facing you, and he's offering to you lots of earthly blessings. So the very thing that you've been worried that you can never have, because you've been worried about money, you've been worrying about making ends meet for a really long time now. Once you make these changes and become completely self-sufficient, as often happens in life, then more blessings are added to you, because now you have a partner who is like you And in fact, this is the Knight of Pentacles, not the King of Pentacles. So he's in service to you. So if you've wanted somebody who helps you instead of you doing all of the work for someone else, that is in the cards for you. But you've got to change yourself first. And you may know, if you're familiar with my channel, that I am a divorce healing coach. So if you're looking for some techniques around this, well, how do I change myself? Leave me a comment or get in touch with me through my website, and we can talk about that. So here's the confirmation. Here's the final card. Here's where you are. Once you're able to heal from what you've experienced in life so far, and once you become this person, you now meet your partner who is dedicated to helping you stay the Empress, the queen of your own life. And in fact, the queen of this relationship. And here you are in the outcome. This is the Ten of Cups. Here the two of you are having everything that you feel you need, whatever that is for you. Whether that's home, whether that's wealth, and especially if you've really wanted to be a mom, if you've really wanted to have children in a happy marriage, that's there for you too. All right, that's what I have to say about this particular stack of cards and how you can find true love and whether it's likely for you. Yes, it is. Okay, so I hope this resonated with you. Take what makes sense to you and leave the rest, but also give it a couple of days and come back, view this reading again, because a lot of times on the second viewing, after you think about these things, you may see patterns and see how this makes sense in your own particular life. If you've enjoyed this reading, please consider subscribing to my channel, and also consider coming back on Mondays, because every Monday I post a tarot forecast for the week ahead that gives you the general vibe on what to expect, especially for the intentions of people who view this reading. So that reading is live on Sundays, and then it uploads the replay here to my YouTube channel on Mondays. Thank you for being here. And let's go on to stack of cards number 4. Okay, final stack of cards, everyone. Here's the 4th grouping of cards answering the question, how can I find true love? Let's see what these cards have for us. All right, we have the 10 of Wands reversed. We have the 4 of Cups. We have the Queen of Swords reversed. And we have the High Priestess. All right, so what this is saying to me generally is you've been really working hard to try to find a relationship, and it has not been working for you the way you would have liked. So let's look at the 10 of Wands upright. Here you can see someone working so hard that they can't even look ahead of them to see what's really out there. So they're kind of just blinded by their hard work, and now it's kind of gotten to the point where, have you gone on dozens and dozens of internet dates and none of them are the right person? Are you totally discouraged, but yet you keep trying because you feel the only way that I can get there is to keep working hard and keep trying? So this reading is saying, time to let that go. Things are easier than you think they are. Okay, but how could that be? So let's look what else we have here, because you may say, hey, if it were that easy, I would have met him by now. So the second card, the 4 of Cups. This really often comes up in the romantic readings that I do for people, because this is a card where the right person may have already presented himself. Now, there's not just one right person, so don't worry. Now you're thinking, oh, I missed him. I couldn't see the forest for the trees, and now I missed him. No, not so. But you might have already been presented with a few good options, but somehow you were saying, nah, This is wrong with this one. That's wrong with the other one. These guys aren't perfect. Something's always wrong with each person. So this reading is asking you to look for the possibilities before saying no. I'm trying to get this card in focus a little bit more. Okay, so many women that I read for are the opposite. They're ready to accept any sad sack loser man that comes their way, because they want to be in a relationship that much. In this case, though, you're working hard, but you're finding there's something wrong with every single person. And at least one of them has been handed to you by God, practically, okay? And don't worry, there'll be another one down the road, but next time you meet someone who would be just right for you, you need to give him a chance. And there's a confirmation here with the Queen of Swords reversed, which is, you may have evolved to be kind of a tough customer. This might be, for some of you who are viewing this stack of cards, it might be along the lines of, you get on the first date and you give the guy the third degree, asking him all kinds of questions that scare the heck out of him, just because you want to be efficient, you want to get this over, right? Because you've got a million of these dates to go on. So you want to eliminate the wrong ones as soon as possible. But for you, this hasn't been working. Spirit says, please stop doing that. Please stop doing that. Now, do you have to turn into the opposite of who you are? No, you don't. But Spirit is asking you to be selective in a little bit different way, which is to tune in to your inner guidance instead of looking for all these outer attributes that may or may not be important. Like, what's really important to you? So this is one of those readings where, if you haven't done so already, one thing that you can do is really make a list of what is really important. Put on one side of the paper every single tiny thing that you want this person to be, do, or have. And then take a look at what you really need. If you could have just 3 things, what would those 3 things be that are so important? So likely how he looks is maybe not that important. Whether he's a little overweight or underweight or whatever it is that you don't care for, maybe that's not that important. But is he a person who's going to really be sweet to you? Is he a person that is going to make you feel like you have support? Like you don't have to keep doing everything in life all by yourself? Only you can know what these important qualities are. So this is saying, don't just ignore that you are a person of reason. You're a practical kind of person rather than a super romantic person. You don't have to change this, but find out what it is. Settle down. Meditate on this. When you go out on a date with someone, sit back and let him do the talking. Let him reveal himself. You don't have to do all the work here. You don't have to try to be, pardon the expression, Queen of Swords, cutting through the crap with your sword. Just let this person talk. Get to know the person with no particular agenda. Because definitely you've been offered a good opportunity in the past, and you will be offered the right person in the future. So how long will this take, you might be thinking. I've been looking for such a long, long time. As soon as you connect with your spiritual self, connect with what you really, in your deepest self, need to have to make you happy, that's when this is going to come sooner. And when someone is presented to you, don't try to rush the process. You don't have to ask him every question right at the start. Take time to get to know him. If this is someone who's trying to force you into a physical relationship, we already know he's not the right person. So the right person is someone who is also going to take time and give you time to get to know each other. So when you meet someone who's willing to take it slow and take some time to get to know you, who actually cares to get to know you, that might be a good indication that this is your person. So I hope some of this resonated with you. I hope that you're going to take away something from this reading. I always say, take what resonates with you and ignore the rest. But I also say, come back and view this reading in a couple of days. Take a look at it again and see what points of this reading point you in the right direction and give you hope that you can have what you want. If you did enjoy this reading, please consider subscribing to my channel. In addition to these pick-a-pile readings on various questions, every week on Sunday, I do a live tarot forecast for the week ahead that gives you kind of what the overall vibe is for the week ahead and how you can make the most of it. Thank you for being here, and I hope I see you in a future reading real soon. Okay, bye.